Hi, this is Andy Robinson, Elam Garrick on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and you are listening to the biggest little podcast this side of the Gamma Quadrant. It's the Trek Geeks Podcast with Dan Davidson and Bill Smith. Failure to tune in would not sit well with the Obsidian Order.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Trek Geeks Podcast here on the Trek Geeks Network. If you don't know this voice by now, I am Andy Fark of 5-Year Mission. And if you've already read the title to this episode, you kind of know what's coming. And wow, the first time I heard Dan do one of his little Farkisms, I laughed. I gotta admit, I'm sorry, Bill. I have to admit that it made me laugh the first time. But then they just kept on going, which, keeping on going, it kind of reminds me of, an episode of Star Trek, because I'm always watching one and Star Trek just keeps on going. So there was one episode where these two podcasters got beamed down to the surface of a planet. One was a leader of podcasts. The other mainly just spoke in puns, and it was a little hard to kind of translate and try to think of, how they could communicate with each other. One chose, diplomacy and, full sentences. The other chose just to make bad jokes over and over and over again. And if you haven't guessed by now, I am, of course, talking about the episode Denmark. And I wish that I had Bill here for a reaction, because he would probably groan, and, you guys are probably groaning as well. Anyway, this is an entire episode dedicated to all of Dan's Farkisms. This is volume 1, because there's way too many to put in an entire episode unless you wanted to be here for a Gone with the Wind-like length of an episode. They're not going to do that to you. I don't want you subjected to that. Anyway, on with the show.
We also have to thank our friends in the band 5-Year Mission, your house band, for the official Star Trek convention in Las Vegas this coming summer. It's less than 4 months away at this point. Wow. It's amazing. They are going to play for 5 straight days.
In the same clothes.
We may take up a collection to buy them a case of Febreze or tequila. I'm not sure which. They can let us know.
How about tequila-flavored Febreze?
That's better than Febreze-flavored tequila any day. But no, please head on out to 5yearmission.net. Check out all of their music, because seriously, you're going to love it. They are every single ounce of music you hear here on our show every single week, from the opening theme through all the bumper music. And we can't thank them enough. We love those guys, and we're excited to see them in just a few months. And please, 5yearmission.net, check out their music.
They are Farktastic.
Wow. You've been waiting like 30 seconds to get that.
I've been like, hurry up.
Wow. Okay. Of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't thank our friends in the band 5-Year Mission, your house band, for STLV, this in the 50th anniversary year of Star Trek. We can't wait to see them. We can't wait to give them some Febreze for 5 straight days of playing songs.
Oof.
I don't know how they're going to do that, man.
That's going to be Farkalicious, I'll tell you.
All right, enough with the Fark adjectives. You're killing him and me.
I know, I'm really trying hard.
You're trying too hard.
Okay.
But please, head on out to 5yearmission.net. You know what else makes us smile, Dan? Those are our friends in the band 5-Year Mission, your house band for Star Trek Las Vegas, the 50th anniversary convention in Las Vegas this summer. We we love these guys. So much great music. Every ounce of music you hear on our show is 5 Year Mission. So please head on out to 5yearmission.net. Get some Federation credits out of that wallet and slap them down and get yourself some albums. And that way you can have some earworms in your head. That's all I'm saying.
So we're going to be getting them some Febreze. Is that the plan?
Well, I think we should start a crowdfunding campaign to either buy them a new set of or second set of uniforms because they're playing 5 days straight.
That's a lot.
That's
like a lot.
That's a lot of the same clothes. That's what I'm talking about.
You know,
I know that all those guys are going to be having the time of their lives, and I'm sure they're going to be dead tired. But we're looking forward to it anyway.
I'm going to get him a case of Fark Breeze.
Oh my God! Just shut up. Fark, I'm sorry. I tried. I threatened him. I did a whole bunch of stuff. Said, "Don't you dare do it." He did it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, we would be very remiss if we didn't thank our friends in the band 5 Year Mission. They are every last bit of music you hear on this show. Seriously, they are 5 amazing guys. Your house band for Star Trek Las Vegas in the 50th anniversary year. 5 straight days of nothing but tunes and Febreze. I don't know about you, buddy. I can't wait. We hope everyone goes out to 5yearmission.net, score yourself some albums, lay down some quatloos, and get some good tunes.
You know what's cool about 5 Year Mission?
Oh,
I gotta
no.
say.
Oh, no.
It made me think of my favorite Mirror Universe episode.
Oh, no. Here it comes.
Enterprise the other day. I was watching In a Mirror Farkley. It was pretty good. No?
You're fired. You're fired. I am going to get Andy Robinson on this podcast to replace you. Akuchimoya. So, Dan, we would be incredibly remiss if we did not thank our good friends in the band 5 Year Mission. They are all of the music here you hear on Trek Geeks. You know, if you hear music, it's them. And it's pretty awesome.
It is good. Good
They
stuff.
are your house band for Star Trek Las Vegas in August, the giant 50th anniversary convention run by Creation Entertainment. They're going to be on stage, Dan, for 5 days.
That's a long time.
That is a long time.
You know who I think's going to have a hard time being up there for 5 days?
Oh, God. Who?
Rittenhouse.
See, now I thought you were going to say something to the effect of, that's a long farking time.
I know you thought that.
But you didn't. And
We're in a different universe tonight, man.
I apologize to my ancestors and my descendants. I apologize. But no, seriously, 5yearmission.net. Please head over to their website. Check out their songs. All of their albums are great. I made a 5 Year Mission reference on Camp Kittimer today, and we were talking about Mary. By the way, horrible episode. Great 5 Year Mission song.
Yes.
It is the theme for Stump the Geek, by the way.
What song by 5 Year Mission isn't awesome, Bill?
Your point is taken, Dan. But 5yearmission.net, go get yourself some albums. Seriously. You'll love it. We promise.
It's farking great.
It's farking great. Hopefully you also enjoy all the music you hear on this very podcast every single week, courtesy of our friends in the band 5 Year Mission. I say it every week now. They are your house band for STLV 50 in Las Vegas this August. 5 straight days of Fark and everybody else.
That's amazing.
I could just say 5 straight days of Fark. But
I actually was thinking the other day I was watching some TOS, Bill.
oh, no.
And I didn't really recognize or remember the episode, but I'll describe it for you. Maybe you can help me out.
Oh,
there was a bunch of band members all like crammed into a room and just kind of milling about. I think it was the Fark of Gideon, but I'm not sure. Do you remember?
Oh, that's just one of these days we have to come up with
book.
lines for Noah and Patrick and Chris and even Rittenhouse. But for now, we're going to endure endless Fark puns because Dan can create them. The Fark of Gideon. Oh,
That's a good one. I like
that was fantastic. Dan, we would be incredibly remiss if we didn't thank our friends in the band 5 Year Mission for all the amazing music they let us use for this podcast. We sound beautiful. Let's just be honest. But we wouldn't sound a tenth as good as we do without their awesome tunes. Did you know they're the house band for STLV this summer?
Say what?
I know. 5 straight days of 5 Year Mission and their music if you're going to STLV in Vegas. So please go to 5 Year Mission, check out all their tunes, buy some albums, get some swag. Let's please show them some love and thank them for letting us use their music because we do every week.
They are awesome. And you know what I watched this past weekend, dude?
Oh, God.
It was funny. I was going through, Deep Space Nine is my favorite. So I found some hidden episodes. There was this great one. It was about some guy who was a singer and he decided to, fall in love with some Klingon. It was the Rittenhouse of Quark, I think was what the episode was. I don't remember. No? Nothing?
Oh, God.
Hey, at least it wasn't Fark, right? Come on.
Dan, why didn't you tell our listeners what's coming up next week? Dan, we would be incredibly, incredibly bad people if we did not thank the guys in 5 Year Mission who provide every last ounce of music for this podcast. Your house band for STLV 50. I see you chomping at the bit, so let's get your Farkism out of the way.
No, I wasn't going to say so much that. I'm so excited. They're the house band. So excited, in fact, that the other day I just decided to watch one of my favorite episodes. It was so great. It was this weird-looking guy running around the halls of the Enterprise, really funny, and he's kind of like bouncing his wrists. And the camera was right in front. Oh, what was that episode? Let That Be Your Last Battle, Fark, I think was the name. I can't remember, but I think that's what it was.
Oh, God.
They get worse every week, don't they?
The worst part is no, I wasn't thinking about that at all. You know what I was thinking? You sold that so poorly. Why don't you tell people what's coming up next week? We hope everybody checks out 5 Year Mission. We can't thank them enough for letting us use their music every single week for the podcast. They're amazing.
They're the house band too, buddy.
What? They are?
I would not steer you wrong, sir.
You would not. Your house band for STLV 50, the official Star Trek convention in Las Vegas, coming up in, just a little over 7 weeks, Dan.
Unbelievable. You know what else is unbelievable?
Oh, God.
I have my alternate universe episodes of Star Trek over here in my special closet, right?
Yeah.
So I'm watching one the other day, and there was this weird looking creature kind of slithering through the rocks. It kind of looked like a shaggy Mike Rittenhouse. And it was sketching letters, and it was Devil in the Fark, I think was the name of that episode, if I remember correctly. I don't
Really?
know.
Really?
Yeah, really.
So wait, you mean shaggier than Mike Rittenhouse, right?
Mike, he said that. I didn't, man.
Mike doesn't listen to this show. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's true. I guess it's okay.
But seriously, please check them out online at 5yearmission.net. We love those guys, and we know you will too. And get ready for Vegas. That's all I'm saying. It's coming up. You're going to want to hear the tunes. Well, Dan, speaking of other things that are majestic, we must thank profusely those 5 amazing gents in the band 5 Year Mission. Without them, we would not have the amazing music we do for this podcast. And hey, did you know that they are your house band for STLV 50?
Get out of here, Willis. Wait a minute. I said that completely wrong.
You really did.
What you talking about? There we go. No, isn't that awesome? We are going to be having so much fun in that giant auditorium at STLV, watching those guys rock out, trying to make them laugh before they start.
They might just be looking at us and laughing, but that remains to be seen. Please head on out to 5yearmission.net, download all of their music to prepare yourself. When this episode drops, you'll only have 4 weeks left to prepare.
My God.
And if you start now, you could memorize every song before you even get to Vegas. So there's your mission.
That's a good mission. You know what else is a good mission?
What's that, Dan?
I watched Return to Tomorrow the other day. My special Mirror Universe episode of Return to Tomorrow. It was kind of cool, this Thalassa, my Thalassa, and there's Hanok, big bad Hanok, and then have no fear, Farkon is here.
I should have known you were going there, and something inside me didn't even put it together.
That's why I'm here, man, to surprise you.
Fark on.
Yeah. He is too far gone, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I think you're too far gone. And speaking of which, Dan, why'd you tell us what's coming up next week?
Finally.
Dan, the other thing we have to show some gratitude for is the house band for this year's STLV. I speak, of course, of 5 Year Mission.
You're the house band?
I know, right?
Jumping Jiminy Crickets.
The house band for the official Star Trek convention in Las Vegas, coming up in just under 4 weeks. Oh. I can't wait. We can't thank the guys enough in 5 Year Mission for letting us use their amazing music every week. Awesome. They're writing one song for each episode of the original series, which is just, and it's awesome. That's the thing. It's awesome.
It is. It's great music. We love it. Speaking of episodes.
Oh, God.
I didn't know. I thought something was wrong with my TV when I was watching. I put it in an episode just last night, I think it was. Might have been the night before. They all blend together. I turned it on, and dude, all it was like a black screen. And every once in a while, like static would flash across the screen for a few seconds, like the old style TVs. It was just, there was nothing there. And then I realized that I must have put in the episode Fark's Brain. No?
Dan, why don't you tell us what's coming up next week?
I would be happy to. Wow, that was bad. Okay. On your Android device, like the one that I am holding in my hand, because I am now an Android person, Bill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does that mean you come with unlimited data?
I don't think so.
See what I did there?
I don't want to even get... I'm not even...
Data's an Android?
I'm not doing it.
Oh, okay.
No.
Wait, so you, the guy who makes all the Farkisms, isn't going to go for a pun?
You want to start doing data-isms on the show? You go right ahead.
Okay. Well, Dan, we probably should thank the aforementioned 5 Year Mission, your house band for STLV 2016. We'll see them in 2 weeks.
Get the Febreze, baby.
Yeah. Or the Fark breeze, as you like to call it. Oh, my God.
I did not. No, not yet. I'm not.
You did before.
I'm not doing it tonight, though.
You're not. We love their music. They're doing an original song for each episode of the original Star Trek.
Yeah.
They've got so many albums out right now, whether it's Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Spock's Brain.
Yes.
Which we love.
Yes.
And just please go out to 5yearmission.net. Just get them all.
The other day, they tweeted that they were working on one for Michael Dorn. They were practicing it for when he's on stage.
Yeah?
Yeah. Michael Dorn. He's going to be at Star Trek, you know.
Who's not going to be there? That's really the question at this point.
I know, but I got to get back to 5 Year Mission for just a second.
Yeah.
I pulled out my alternate universe, the original series TV guide the other night, dude. You know how I got that? Because all my weird episodes are in that alternate universe.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read you what the entry is for this episode that I watched.
I can hardly wait.
Yeah, this is good. One of the most beloved of the original series, it says. A red shirt goober goes back in time and stops his friend who alters history by jumping through a giant snare drum. He then falls in love with some hussy who has to die in order for 5 Year Mission to become reality. It is the city on the edge of Farkever. Hi, buddy.
Fark, I'm sorry. He's out of control now. There's nothing I can do. Once the genie was uncorked, I tried to make my 3 wishes so he'd go away, and it didn't work. He just keeps popping up with that stupid look on his face.
I thought it was only going to be for 79 episodes. I'm going to do it for every episode of every single series. We got 770-something of these beauties to go through.
Fantastic. One thing we're not saying wrong is how much we love 5 Year Mission. They are your house band for Star Trek Las Vegas and the 50th anniversary convention in Nevada. 1 week from when this podcast drops.
Are they my house band too?
They are your house band and your house band and your house band.
Even though I have a C and D?
Even though. Well, for now.
Well, that's true. Yeah. They are awesome. We can't wait to see them live on stage all week long, jamming out. They've got new stuff that they're going to be playing for us at the convention. Speaking of 5-Year Mission, Bill.
Well, we should tell people they should head on over to 5yearmission.net, get all their tunes.
They got a lot of them.
Yes, they do. And now, speaking of 5-Year Mission.
5-Year Mission. I was flipping through the stations just this morning. It's amazing. It always happens the day we podcast.
Oh,
we record
good
for the
gravy.
podcast. This was kind of a creepy story. I felt a little icky afterwards. I mean, there was Android hotties, and there was a duplicate Android drummer that was beamed up to the ship. And then over there was this giant robot Lurch. What are little Farks made of? And I got to tell you, I'm pretty sure that is a question that I do not want answered.
Nor do any of us. Let's just say it that way.
I wanted to make sure that we were on the same page.
We can't thank this year's house band at the convention enough. 5-Year Mission. For the next 5 days, Dan, we are going to be regaled with all kinds of musical awesomeness. We do have to say we use some special bumper music this week between the segments. At the beginning of the show, you heard their Beam Down track.
Yes.
And just now you heard Take a Ride, both of which are STLV themed. So if you're at the con, head to the 5-Year Mission table. You might just be able to pick up a special limited edition single with both songs, and it may be autographed, but you have to hurry, though. There's a very limited number.
And I would love to sing a couple of those songs, but as we know, I can't. We'll probably be getting some legal representation in Vegas from the 5-Year Mission Band, which I'm looking forward to seeing that document very much, but I guess that's the way it goes. Speaking of the band, though,
yes,
getting ready for Vegas, I thought I'd throw in my DVD, and I watched the Zephram Cochrane episode today.
Oh, boy.
The companion and Zephram Cochrane, and then some dude was just like scurrying around the cliffs out in the background. Yeah, it was Metamorphosis.
Oh, my. You know, we're in Las Vegas right now, and there is just not enough booze in this town to make those better. I'm just going to throw that out there right now.
I know. I love them.
Well, Dan.
Because I love Fark.
Speaking of 5-Year Mission, Dan, we'd be incredibly remiss if we didn't thank them for letting us use their music for each and every episode of the podcast. They were truly amazing in Vegas, weren't they?
They were awesome in Vegas. They really kept the crowd going. They actually got to have a special set due to a cancellation. I think it was Carl wasn't able to show up, so they put that slot in for them. So they got to jam on stage a little extra, and it really is great to watch them. I'm so glad that they were the house band. I want to see them there every year, to be honest with you.
Here's hoping.
But you know, I got to say, you know, a little STLV, post STLV depression. So I had to sit in my room the other day and watch an episode. So this was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. It was, the Enterprise actually was bringing Ambassador Robert Farks to a Mini R7. You remember that episode? Yeah, the crew discovers that, you know, there's a war going on with Vendikar and it's only fought with computers, and band members were willingly, Bill, walking into disintegration machines. It was a taste of Farkmageddon. It was a great episode, and I highly recommend it to everybody.
I'm surprised you didn't call the other planet Vendifark.
Hey, don't write my stuff for me.
Oh, wow. Well, we hope everyone heads on over to 5yearmission.net, checks out their music. Maybe you'll be prepping for next year. Who knows? But, you know, get some great tunes and enjoy yourself. So thank them very much for everything they do for us.
Jerk face.
Oh, thank you. Speaking of which, your favorite people we're about to mention, the band 5-Year Mission, without whom we would be a musicless mess of a podcast.
Wow.
We honestly, truly can't thank them enough for allowing us to use their music in every episode of Trek Geeks. And we really want you to check them out. So please head on over to 5yearmission.net. Just really download some albums.
Yeah.
You know, shell out some Quatloos, get some Federation credits, play a couple of rounds of Fizbin and get yourself some Bank Bro and lay down those clams to get some sweet, sweet music.
That was a great rant. Not a rant, but it was awesome. Listen to their music. It'll bring back memories of Vegas when they were the house band and did such an awesome job. And if you want a little extra, Bill, of 5 Year Mission, you can always watch some of these great episodes that I've been watching, like the one I just watched. Yeah. It's not a good episode, I got to say. I don't think you like this episode at all. I know I'm not a big fan of the episode. It's got bad sets. It's got bad acting, bad special effects. And it's all about these two musicians from different dimensions that are fighting to out-drum one another on the stage of STLV. It was really something. It is the alternative Farkter.
Do you hear that? Did you just do your own rim shot?
I did, because I didn't want to keep hearing crickets.
That sound was my soul being sucked out of my body for letting you do this.
I have so much fun with these, and you just bring it down.
I bring it down. We have to thank also our friends in the band 5 Year Mission, without whom, this podcast would not be half as fun. Their music adds a special quality to our show, and we're so grateful to be able to use it and to be able to share their music with you. Please head on over to 5yearmission.net, score yourself some tunes, listen to all their albums. Year 4 is coming soon, which I'm very stoked about, and I know you are too, Dan.
Yep.
But we can't support them enough.
They're all great. We love all the guys. We have a great time with them. We always like to joke around. But I got to say, Bill, it's the 50th anniversary today.
Yes.
In honor of that 50th anniversary, I had to go into the vault. I had to.
Boy.
It was a great one. And it's amazing that it was on this day. There was this drummer, and he was killing off band members only because they were hiding his diamond crystal salt shakers. Can you believe that?
I can't.
It's amazing. Every band member, he looked different too. But for us, the viewer, he still was the same repulsive creature. It's the Fark trap.
Did you just call him a repulsive creature?
I can't say if it was him.
I want to say you're hanging yourself for the trial on the G&T show.
This has nothing to do with the trial.
It will once they get the audio.
Not admissible.
But truly a sincere thanks to them.
Absolutely.
And we would, of course, be incredibly horrible people if we didn't thank 5 Year Mission for letting us use their music in every single episode of the Trek Geeks podcast. We can't thank those guys enough. They're amazing. They just played a great show with the Adler Planetarium in Chicago for Adler After Dark to celebrate Star Trek's 50th anniversary. And, of course, it was so great to see them at STLV. Please head on over to 5yearmission.net and download all of their albums and keep an eye out for Year 4 coming sometime. I know they're working on it.
I love that. We're so excited. We got all kinds of alarms going off here again. But I got to say, Bill, we love 5 Year Mission so much.
We do.
But I did watch an episode that made me kind of think about them a little bit more the other day. I'm not sure. One of the band members used the orb of time to actually travel into the past because he was told that another band member was actually a collaborator during the occupation. Can you believe that?
No.
Wrong's farker than the night, man. Check it out.
Wrong's farker than death or night or something like that?
Wrong's farker than the night. Something like that. All right.
Okay. Clearly an episode that stood out in your mind.
I liked it.
Yeah, so 5yearmission.net. Go get yourself some great tunes.
When are we not honest about 5 Year Mission?
We love them. We love their music. We're so thankful and full of gratitude that they let us use their music for each and every episode of this podcast. Please, we beg you, head on out to 5yearmission.net. Download every single one of their albums. We know they're working hard on Year 4 right now.
This very second, I think.
This very moment.
Wow. Bill, I got to say something about 5 Year Mission.
Oh, boy.
I talk about Fark a lot, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's my pal.
A little too much.
But I love all the guys in 5 Year Mission all equally. You know that, right?
Oh God.
No, I'm serious. I'm making a very serious point right now. I want to make sure that both you and Andy know that. I love them all equally.
I just want you to know I'm getting ready to do a face palm right now.
No. I don't want Fark to get the wrong idea. You know, you never know. I just don't want him looking for Fark in all the wrong places.
Happy birthday, Fark. Here's your present. Yeah, so head on out to 5yearmission.net. Get yourselves some tunes that will not have any of these puns, and please help support them.
That's what he's got to do. They got to do a song of all the puns.
Yeah,
I'm going to email them.
Yeah, get right on that, would you? So, Dan, this has, been an excellent discussion, but it's all been highlighted by some amazing music that we have each and every week on our show. I speak, of course, of the compositions of the band 5 Year Mission. We can't thank them enough for letting us use their music for each and every episode of Trek Geeks. And seriously, head on out to 5yearmission.net and buy some albums. I was listening to the complete discography at work the other day. It helped get me through.
Wow, that's a good word.
Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you.
We're very lucky to have 5 Year Mission because, at one point, they could have been gone forever. You know why?
I imagine you're going to tell me.
Well, did you see the episode where the entire band, 5 Year Mission, they were put on trial by this omnipotent being called D? And they had to answer charges of being a grievously savage band. And they were almost wiped out of existence. Check it out. Encounter at Fark Point.
So wait, are you the omnipotent D in this analogy?
I did not say that.
I'm asking you.
You can take that as you will, sir. That's just that. I'm just saying what the episode was.
So that's a non-answer answer, right?
We do have a trial coming up, so I figured I might as well have some fun with it beforehand.
I can't wait for this to get added to the stack of discovery. Way to go, Alec.
I'm just going to file a motion to, quell all the discovery like everybody else seems to do.
Yeah, great. That's fantastic. So yeah, please head on out to 5yearmission.net, download yourself some albums. We truly think you'll love their music, so we hope you'll support them and love them as much as we do.
No.
Oh. You know who else is your nemesis, Dan?
Oh, boy.
That would be Fark of 5 Year Mission.
Love him.
Really?
Yes.
Then why are you having to go to court?
That has nothing to do with me. That's their decision.
That's podcast court. It's you versus them. And by them, I mean me and them.
I think I'm going to court simply because I forgot to take the document with me. This wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for my clumsiness.
Yes, October 29th, it will be the hearing to end all hearings, your blatant IP infringement of 5 Year Mission songs. In the court of 24 hours of GNT for the GNT show. We are super excited.
Oh, yeah.
To attend and to hang you out to dry, quite frankly.
Thank you. I appreciate that, partner.
You're welcome, partner. But since I am an honorary member of the band, I should say that we can't thank my band enough for all of the music they provide to the Trek Geeks podcast. They let us use it every week, and it sounds fantastic. I love their music. I was listening to it the other day. I listened to it actually quite a bit, and you should too. So head on out to 5yearmission.net, download all of their albums. Really, just do it. Just you're going to thank me. You're going to thank Dan, even though he steals their stuff. You're going to have a great time. You're going to sing along. You're going to listen to the albums over and over again. So please, just 5yearmission.net. Download some music.
Wow. It kind of brings a tear to my eye.
You cry?
Yeah. First start of the right and straight on till morning. We see the band heading off into the sunset and we think that it's the last we see of them and of him. But it isn't. They're going to be back again and again and again. Of course, I'm talking about Fark Trek 5, the final Fark tier.
Oh, my God. What is it with you anyway?
That's Star Trek 6.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I don't know what I was thinking. Another thing that is great is all the music you hear on Trek Geeks, and that is provided graciously by our friends in the band 5 Year Mission. We love those guys and their music.
They're pretty awesome.
They're amazing. Anyone who's seen them in Vegas, like you for the first time, knows how amazing they are firsthand now.
Yes. I love 5 Year Mission. I love everyone in 5 Year Mission. I just want to say that.
Why are you saying that? That's kind of a weird thing to say.
I'm just saying it. But actually, I did want to ask you a question or see if you share the opinion. Do you think that J.J. Abrams is doing stuff like this on purpose now?
What do you mean?
Well, in our universe, the drummer of 5 Year Mission is this pasty white glasses wearing dude who tries to get pumped up at the gym on his off days. But yet in the Kelvin universe, he's this ripped Middle Eastern dude with a cool accent and a nice Starfleet, pendant, and he's got big pecs. Check it out. It's Star Trek into Farkness.
Oh my.
Pasty white guy.
I just, it's like you're trying to hang yourself.
I'm not doing anything.
So on October 29th.
Oh, here we go.
October 29th, you and I will be appearing with Andy Fark from 5 Year Mission on the G&T show during their 24 hours of G&T. Mm-hmm. Sort of their annual fundraiser to help offset their cost of producing the show. And 5 Year, you're being sued, essentially. Let's just put it that way.
Call it that.
You are being taken to court over the version of their song that you sang on this here podcast several months ago.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I don't know why you keep...
what I do here with Fark. This is my love for him and the band. This is my love for them. I'm talking about them every single week. Just because I sang a line of one song that they think I was stealing or whatever, that's irrelevant to this, sir.
If you loved him anymore, you'd be slamming his hand in a car door.
What? No, he's awesome. Love him. Fark, buddy. All right, can we move on, please?
As Dan is wallowing and treading water, I would remind everyone that you can head on out to 5yearmission.net. Please get all of their albums, download those things, put them on your mobile phone. You can listen to them wherever you want. Lord knows I do, but we guarantee you'll enjoy and love their music. So 5yearmission.net. Well, Dan, we would be very remiss if we didn't thank the group of gentlemen who are making sure you went up in court this weekend on the G&T show. And that, of course, is the band 5 Year Mission. They provide all of the music you hear on Trek Geeks. And it's fantastic. We love these guys. We love their music. They're doing an original song for every episode of the original Star Trek series. So please head on out to 5yearmission.net, download all their albums, listen to their music. And here's hoping they're the house band once again for STLV 51/30/2016. Right, Dan?
I agree 100%. And if they are the house band, take it right now. Early trading tip, buy stock in Febreze. It's going to be worth it.
Wow.
No, I don't say that in a bad way. I mean, they like to use it. It's good stuff.
So now you're telling them they smell.
I did not. You keep putting words in my mouth, sir.
I haven't done no such thing.
I am honored to have them on this show. I love every one of them. I can't wait to see them again and shake their hand this weekend aside. They're going to be probably not want to shake my hand because they're going to have their tail between the legs when they lose. But they're awesome. And like you said, all the albums that they've got out, year 1, year 2, year 3, Trouble with Tribble, Spock's Brain, they're working on year 4. It's going to be awesome. I am asking, though, that they might want to write a special song for this weekend's trial at some point, because that might be pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a ballad or something?
Whatever they want to do. That's okay. Just don't do parody, because obviously you can't even do that in this world nowadays, but we're not going to get into that right now.
You can when it's funny.
Wow. Okay, then.
You're really not going to do a Farkism.
We're moving on. You heard me. You broke that mare or whatever it's called.
I did nothing. You're the one who made that decision. I had nothing to do with it.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
Wow. I'm sure that'll get entered into the record this week.
I have to protect myself at this point.
I don't even know if you're capable of doing that.
That's why I have my wife.
Yeah. I'm sure she's going to make sure you hang.
Wow. Goodness gracious.
And of course, 5yearmission.net for all their great music. And, if you were hoping to hear a Farkism this episode, you can write to Dan and say how disappointed you are. Dan, speaking of Vegas, your personal friends, the band 5 Year Mission. You love them so much.
I love them more now.
You love them more now.
By the way, can I stop you for just a second?
Apparently
I have a
you can.
special announcement. I just had sent to me as we were discussing an official statement from the judge herself in regards to the trial the other night.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, Judge Janet has offered this statement. Solomonic justice was served in this defamation infringement domestic dispute I can't even say this word. Adjudicated. Thank you. Adjudicated in the Supreme Court of Star Trek, New England Circuit. I think it says it all right there. Because I have no idea what it means. But that's what we got.
I don't know if you should be as excited about that as you are.
I am, because I didn't lose.
I think we all lost a little bit, don't you?
Well, I will say this. I will not sing 5 Year Mission anymore. I will let the professionals deal with that, because they are awesome and we do love them.
And speaking of the professionals, we want you to head on out to 5yearmission.net. Please download all their music. We truly can't thank them enough for having fun with Dan's little version of their Take a Ride song, and for also letting us use their music in every episode of the podcast. They're phenomenal. We want you to love them as much as we love them. So please check them out and support them. We'd really appreciate it if you did.
It would be awesome. But I do have to say, even though I was on trial, Bill, I have to watch an episode every weekend. I love watching these weird alternate universe episodes that I found. You remember the Xindi arc on Enterprise?
How could I forget?
Oh, it was amazing. But I dug up this episode. Instead of our wonderful actress friend Kipley Brown playing the ghost of Ensign Jane Taylor, who Trip had to deal with, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on what side you're on in the courtroom, in this version, we had this drummer dude playing the ghost of the dearly departed John Taylor, who tortured Trip endlessly with bad riffs. What can you expect, though, from the episode from Enterprise, The Farkgotten? It's a classic, and I highly recommend it.
Oh, dude. That was terrible.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Adult. I need an adult.
Wow. And they're only going to get better from here, folks.
Oh, here's hoping.
Wow. Okay.
Well, Dan, something else that's amazing is our friends in the band 5 Year Mission, your personal friends and compatriots.
I love them.
Without them, this podcast wouldn't sound nearly as good as it does. They are all the music you hear on the Trek Geeks podcast, and truly, we can't thank them enough. We hope everyone goes out to 5yearmission.net, downloads all of their albums, and becomes a huge fan so that you can, maybe see them again someday. Who knows?
We're going to start that petition, hashtag STLV51 FYM.
Let's do it.
All right,
let's
get
do
it going. I like that. You know what else? You know what else I like about 5 Year Mission?
What's that?
I like the fact that. Did you know that Andy actually received an accommodation for original thinking once?
What?
Yeah, he did. He was the only person to ever beat the no drum scenario. That's right.
God.
He beat the Kobe Farky Maru. I gotta laugh.
It's a pained laugh. It's like. When Picard is stabbed by the Nausicaan through the heart, and he looks down and he sees this weapon sticking out of his chest and he just starts laughing. That's the kind of laughter I just had, like,
So basically, I just stab you through the heart.
Oh, dude.
He got a combination for it. Kobe Farky Maru, man.
From who?
I don't know. Rittenhouse?
Sorry, from whom? So have you been watching the show Timeless?
I have not.
There's this big conspiracy from this organization known as Rittenhouse. And every time they mention, all I can think of is 5-Year Mission.
That's awesome. They got to get him as a guest star on the show. Love those guys.
It'll be the fan film. They can build a studio. So yes, please head on out to 5yearmission.net. Score yourself some tunes. Trust us, you're not going to be disappointed. Dan, at this point, we should thank your close personal friends of the band 5-Year Mission. They are, of course, all the music you hear on the Trek Geeks podcast, and honestly, we can't thank them enough. They're so great to us, and we really want everyone to head out to 5yearmission.net and download every single last one of their albums and memorize them. Because that way, when year 4 comes out, because they're going to start recording it pretty soon.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You'll be ready. And that's what we want people to be, Dan, is ready. So go get some 5-Year Mission.
Yeah, Fark actually dropped a little hint on Facebook with us the other day that they're getting ready to start year 4 recording, so it's going to be pretty awesome. Speaking of Fark, though.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Well, Deep Space Nine, See It or Skip It, Season 1, I just happened to watch it. It was, God, what an episode. It was so good. It's such a tender moment. Our beloved drummer had been holding it together after a 12-hour concert at STLV, and stuck in an elevator near the Masquerade Bar. He had to return to his gelatinous state in the arms of a Loxana Troy cosplayer. It was a great episode. It's called The Farksaken, as a matter of fact, and I would recommend that everyone check it out.
Wow. That was great. The Farksaken.
Yeah. Well, I got some bad vibes from Fark for last week's Kobe Farky Maru. So.
That was terrible. This one's not much better.
They're never really good, right?
Do you write these in advance, or do you just sort of plug them out of the sky when you sit down to record?
I can't answer that.
That's a trade secret.
Because then it's, wow, you're really bad off the cuff, or you're really bad when you sit down and write. So either way, I'm not saying.
Wow.
Yeah, but we love 5-Year Mission, and that's all that matters, right?
That is all that matters. So like we say, get yourself on out to 5yearmission.net. Buy all their albums. Pretty please. It'll make Dan happy.
With Farky on top?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Dan, we would be remiss at this point if we didn't thank our friends of the band 5-Year Mission for all of the music that they allow us to use on this here podcast. We hope everyone heads on out to 5yearmission.net. Please just download all their albums. I mean, seriously. Do it. If you haven't done it at this point, and there's just no excuse, we want them to be the official house band for STLV 2017.
Big way.
In a big way. So please let Creation Entertainment know that you want 5-Year Mission back too. Tweet them, email them, Facebook them. Say, hey guys, we want 5-Year Mission because it's just not STLV without them. Right, Dan?
Absolutely. You know what else isn't STLV without them? Is my weekly Farkism.
Oh, yes. I've been waiting for this with bated breath.
It's in tribute to this awesome episode that we had today with Jim. It's a great episode. This guy wants you to think that he's this big, scary dude, but he's just a goofy puppet. That's just a goofy puppet, I should say. But the person that we're talking about is just this teeny tiny man who drinks orange juice and laughs obnoxiously. So go watch I screwed it up. The Corbifark maneuver. That's what I'm trying to say, people. That sucked.
Corbifark maneuver.
I really thought you were going with Devil in the Fark.
I was gonna call him Bayfark, but I didn't think that would have worked out too good. So
the Corbifark maneuver. How about the Corbomite Farkouver?
That sounds like a kind of a German car, so I didn't want to go with that.
Yeah. Dan, that was did you just create that one on the fly?
But I tried to say it on the fly and I screwed it up. So
Trek Geeks.
Yeah,
right.
Mr. Spock.
Help me, Spook. Help me, Spook.
Goodness gracious. Yeah.
Well, of course, despite Dan's Farkism, we definitely want people to support 5-Year Mission. So please check them out, download all their stuff. Jim, you are a huge 5-Year Mission fan, and rumor has it you've been known to dance all by yourself when they play live.
That is true. Yes, when the moment hits me. No, I am a huge fan, and it's impossible to not dance like a remote control Spock when you hear RC Spock. I mean, it's not possible.
We agree.
You literally have to walk around the room like a remote control Spock.
It's a moral imperative.
And I'm controlling my own. I got the McCoy operator in my hand, and I'm controlling myself. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm doing it.
So what is your favorite 5-year mission song, since we're on the topic?
My favorite 5-year mission song, you can find a top 10 5-year mission songs on TrekRanks.com, by the way.
Say what?
Number 1 is Errand of Mercy. I mean, it's literally impossible to not, turn it up whenever it comes on. It's just accelerates, and it's just it's fantastic. Breakneck speed. I love it. It's awesome.
I have to agree entirely. We use that one a lot here on this show between segments. It is one of my favorite bumps. And I have to agree with you. It's a fantastic song. I listen to that one all the time. That's a really good pick, Jim. I like that.
Yeah.
And you did it without a Farkism.
Yeah, no,
we all have our faults, right?
That's
or
true.
Our Farks. Oh. That's 2 this week, baby.
Yeah, great. That's great. Dan, there's another thing that you and I are in 100% agreement about, and that is how awesome our friends in the band 5-Year Mission are. They are amazing and outstanding, and we love them so much. We are grateful and thankful to them for allowing us to use their music in every episode of Trek Geeks, and we want everyone to tweet Creation Entertainment or email them or hit them on Facebook and let them know that you want 5-Year Mission back as the official house band for STLV 2017. We got to make this happen. So go on out to 5yearmission.net, score yourself some tunes, and then fire up that browser and let Creation know how much you love the band.
Absolutely. And I think Fark actually dropped a little hint without realizing it, or maybe he did it on purpose. I don't know. He's got quite a mind, that guy, that they're working on a And the Children Shall Lead song. Isn't that something?
I think it's phenomenal. It's going to be way better than the episode.
Well, speaking of Fark, I decided to do something a little bit different this week. I didn't watch a TOS episode.
Really?
I watched a TNG episode this week.
Wow, so you're branching out.
Branching out, yeah. It's a great episode. Season 3. Season 3 is good. They got the new uniforms, and the Picard maneuver with the shirt is always good when you see that in the new uniforms with Season 3. Hollow Pursuits. Good episode. Fun stuff. Holodeck episodes are always interesting, right, Bill? I know you love them.
I do. I love holodeck episodes.
This one was especially great because it had our favorite stuttering drummer, Mr. Farkley.
Oh, boy. Mr. Farkley?
No? Little?
So does that mean when Data explains the concept of metathesis that they would have been calling him Ensign Farkley or Lieutenant Farkley?
Yes. Excellent report, Mr. Farkley.
Oh my God.
At least I watch TNG. That'll make some people happy.
Oh, yay for you. I feel bad for the rest of us.
Oh, come on now. I'm going to have to... Can you just picture Fark in that uniform on the holodeck sitting on that swing with Beverly?
Can you just picture a world where you actually try with these Farkisms?
Ouch!
So yeah, everyone, please let's get in touch with Creation. Let's do what we can to make 5-Year Mission the house band again. They really bring an amazing vibe to the stage, and it really elevates the convention experience. I mean, I'm saying that firsthand. Dan, you got to see it firsthand yourself this year.
Yeah.
Let's do everything we can because we really want those guys back.
Absolutely. Do it.
Dan, what's that?
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Well, Dan, something else that's fun, listening to all the amazing music from 5-Year Mission. We love those guys so much, and we can't thank them enough every week for the music they provide to our podcast. Every bit of music you hear, with the exception of the Christmassy stuff and the Dear Terry Farrell, is all 5-Year Mission, and we want everyone to head out to 5yearmission.net, download all their albums, and please tweet Creation Entertainment, Facebook them, email them, let them know you want to see 5YM back as the house band this year at STLV 17, because it really is a great time, Dan.
They put on one hell of a show. I hope that they come back as a house band. It just won't be the same there. But I watched another episode this week.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna mix things up. Remember the old days when they would have a next week on an all new whatever?
Next time on an all new Star Trek Next Generation.
This week on an all new Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The crew of DS9 goes to an abandoned Cardassian space station to salvage parts, but all is not as it seems. Apparently, there's a maniacal band hiding on the station. It's M. Fark Nor, next week on Deep Space Nine.
As soon as you said abandoned space station or whatever it was, I'm like, he is going to drop M. Fark Nor. Oh, my God.
Hey, at least now you know what I'm going to do.
I just killing me.
Ba-boom.
That's not
every week, man. They're never stopping.
Oh, great. Yeah, please head on out to 5yearmission.net, support the band, show them your love, and let's get them back as the house band for STLV.
Dan, what's always a fun journey is listening to all of the albums of our friends 5 Year Mission. It's 2017. That means we could see year 4 this year.
Yeah.
You know, I know they've been rehearsing songs. I know they've been playing songs right and left. But our friends, the band 5 Year Mission, they provide all of the music you hear on Trek Geeks. We can't possibly thank them enough.
No,
they are so great to us. Yep. And
to you.
Well, they're great to me because I'm a de facto member of the band, whether it's honorary or not. And we love their music, and we do truly listen to it all the time.
We do. We love them. We love every single member of the band. I cannot wait for the next one to come out. The next album is going to be fantastic. They have been dropping hints, so we know that it's in the works.
Yeah.
So the other thing I like about 5 Year Mission,
oh God,
is it's a new year, so people have been saying I've been dropping the ball a little bit, not on my game as much.
That's true. Your game has actually sucked.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. All right. Well, I appreciate that, ex post facto member, or whatever the hell you said a minute ago.
Yeah.
So I decided to branch out a little bit to start the new year and not just watch TOS or TNG or whatever. So I was watching an episode of Voyager, season 1 Voyager, of the special edition that I have.
Do you hate yourself?
A little bit. Tom Paris was convicted of murder on an alien world in this particular episode, and his punishment was to witness all of Dan's Farkisms every 14 hours. Ugh. Ex post facto.
Oh my God.
Check it out. It's a little scary.
I am terrified right now. Ex post facto.
Yeah. On Blu-ray, it's great.
So, translated from Latin, would that be after the Fark?
Whatever you want, man.
Okay. Well, yeah. How long did you stay up thinking of that one?
That was a couple hours, I think.
Do you always write these down? This is the first time you and I have recorded an actual episode in full length. Do you always?
I have
got notes in front of you.
I have a spreadsheet on my Google Drive of my Farkisms.
You do not.
I do. I will show. No, I shouldn't. I'm sorry. Not a spreadsheet. A table with all my Farkisms. Yes, I write them all up.
That's fantastic.
And even writing them up, they're still as bad as people say they are. So I'm not doing something right.
Oh, they're horrid.
Well, Dan, speaking of writing things, we're glad that the court of popular opinion was able to right the ship as far as your unauthorized performance of 5 Year Mission works. And we're happy to say that our relationship with the band is stronger than ever. Aren't we, Dan?
We love 5 Year Mission. I love 5 Year Mission. I've always loved 5 Year Mission. They just took something the wrong way, but we're not going to get back into that. The past is the past.
I think you love them a little too much.
Well, I don't really love them that much. I just want to, butter them up on the podcast.
Wow.
That's just trying to tone it down a little bit. But no, we both love them. We love their music. You listen to it more than I do, I think, to be quite honest. I think you're the one who has the problem.
Yeah, but I don't try to stalk them like you do.
But we love everything they've done. They've got some new stuff that's going to be coming out hopefully this year. We're keeping our fingers crossed, right?
We sure are. In fact, probably the best place to keep an eye on that is heading on out to 5yearmission.net. And while you're there, pick up all of their other albums. Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Spock's Brain, Trouble with Tribbles. You're going to love them all. Seriously. They are every ounce of music you hear on the Trek Geeks podcast, and we truly cannot thank them enough for allowing us to use their music to cover up the sounds of Dan Davidson.
What? Wow. Okay. Well, on that note, then, I'm going to tell you something that I did this week.
Oh, yeah.
I decided to rewatch my special edition of the animated series. Can you believe that? Huh? No, what? The animated series.
I wish I couldn't believe it, but I know how this ends.
Well, where better to start with a series than by episode 1 itself, right? So I watched episode 1 of this special edition of the animated series. The crew comes across this derelict vessel, but there's something alive within it still. Check it out. Beyond the Farthest Star. You will love it. I promise.
Oh, my. I can make you this declaration right now. I guarantee you that Beyond the Farthest Star is better than Beyond the Farthest Star.
Yes.
And I would consider Beyond the Farthest Star canon.
or shoot him out of one or the other. I'm not really sure.
I would not do that to Fark. I love Fark.
I didn't say Fark. Did I say Fark? You said Fark.
You said shoot him out of a cannon.
Him. I didn't say. It could have been one of the characters in the episode. Maybe it's Rittenhouse. You never know.
Wow.
Don't put words in my mouth, sir. That is not admissible in court.
You're going to get a suit again. But, and please, we definitely want to see 5 Year Mission back as the house band in Vegas. Tell all your friends, tell all your family, even the ones you don't like.
Tweet creation,
email creation. Tell them you want 5 Year Mission back as the house band because, believe me, you do. Just trust me on this, you do. And let's make this happen. So 5yearmission.net, go get yourself some great tunes, yo. Well, Dan, one of the things that is absolutely better is our podcast, and that's because of the addition of the music of our friends of the band 5 Year Mission. It's because of them that we have this amazing sound, and we can't thank them enough. They are every piece of music that people hear on Trek Geeks, and we love them. We hope everybody heads out to 5yearmission.net, downloads all their albums like somebody just did this week.
I saw that.
In fact, we're going to talk about that person in just a second with our iTunes subscribe and review campaign. But yet I digress. Head on out to 5yearmission.net, learn all their stuff, and please get a hold of Creation and tell them that it's just not Star Trek Las Vegas without 5 Year Mission. Let's do what we can. Let's send the message we need to send, get them back as house band, and show them we love 5 Year Mission, Dan.
I think we need to get a mob together to go and talk to Creation, just a whole gaggle of people.
You're thinking torches and pitchforks?
I don't know, torches and pitchforks, but signs that say, FYM or 5YM, all this, that, and the other thing. That we need a mob. But speaking of mobs, Bill.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a good mob story, right?
Unquestionably.
Right?
Right.
That's what I thought. I watched this episode. It's got everything, Bill. It's got everything. It's got humor. It's got suspense. It's got zoot suits. And it's got Mel from Alice. It's got everything. Check?
Right.
All right. Anyway, you know what? Check it out, pal. You're going to love it. It's a piece of the Farction. Check it out. It's awesome.
A piece of the Farction. I waited all that time for that.
Hey, what can I say?
That's because you can't really call it a piece of the Rittenhouse.
I'm going to start on some Mikeisms pretty soon, I think.
Well, he needs some love too, I've learned today.
They all need love, we love that.
All need love. We do. And again, if everybody heads out to 5yearmission.net, download an album or 2 or 4, please, let's make this happen. Dan, we also can't thank enough the gents in the band 5 Year Mission for providing all of the amazing music you hear on Trek Geeks every single week. They're amazing. We're huge fans of theirs, and we are in their debt every single week for the quality of entertainment they add to this podcast.
They are fantastic. They've got, they're working on some new stuff, is our understanding. So we will continue to say that every week until it comes out, because we can't wait to hear the next batch of legendary music coming from the pipes and instruments of 5 Year Mission.
Without a doubt. And we hope everybody heads on out to 5yearmission.net. Please download all their albums, as Delwina did recently.
Yes.
Our winner of the last quarter's $25 Amazon gift card and the subscribe and review campaign. More about that in a second. But yeah, head on out to 5 Year Mission, download all their tunes, learn them, live them, love them, and become a fan, because we certainly are.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what's cool, Bill? I found something.
What's that?
A hidden vault special, so to speak.
What?
Yeah, I mean, and I can only describe it in like the old Next Week on Star Trek voice. It was a difficult time between the Federation and Klingon Empire. Skirmishes, battles, and the galaxy on the brink of war. One band came up with a great plan to defeat the Empire, and this is their story. Well, in all seriousness, we're never really going to be able to make this story, but we sure as hell are going to try and bend the rules to bring it to you, because it deserves to be told, even if it is in a bunch of 15-minute webisodes. So yeah, check it out. It's Farksonar.
Oh my God. Well, my nausea right now is like waves upon the firmament. Okay. To borrow a phrase.
I'm just going to be quiet.
So yes, please, 5yearmission.net. Download some tunes. Something we really love is our friends in the band 5 Year Mission. Without them, this podcast would sound a whole lot less fun. Their music is amazing and incredible. They're creating an original song for every episode of Star Trek. And by that, I mean the original series, which has come to be known now. We love them. They're working on year 4 right now. We hope everybody heads on out to 5yearmission.net, scores themselves some albums, and get on their mailing list or whatever, or follow them on Facebook and Twitter. You got to find out, keep the tabs on year 4, because it's going to be awesome.
I can't wait. I want it now. Guys, hurry up. Let's get the stuff done, will you?
I know, right?
Really, I know. But, we're talking Voyager. We're talking 5 Year Mission. I got to tell you about the latest episode, because I love to do this.
I know. I've heard.
It's another episode from Voyager, and it's a 4th season episode. It really wasn't great, though. It was, quite unremarkable, to be honest with you. Or is that unrefarkable? Anyway. Yeah, sorry. Well, Chakotay falls in love with this band member whose chemistry is such that people forget about him after only a few hours. No technology can scan him, and no technology can save his famous drum solos. It's a story of love, and it's a story of tragedy. And in the end, it really is unfark-gettable.
I don't have words.
2 Farks in 1. That was pretty good. You got to admit.
So here's what I want to know. Chakotay is in love with Fark in this episode? Is that what we're saying?
Everybody's in love with Fark at some point in their lives. You got to admit.
That's a nice, effective dodge, Senator. But are you saying that Chakotay and Fark have fallen in love in this episode? Is that what I'm getting here?
I've told you, all of these episodes are in like a different, universe. It's kind of like a mirror universe thing. So anything is possible. Play timelines. You'll find out.
Well, anyway, Farkisms aside, please head on out to 5yearmission.net. Score yourself some amazing music. Seriously, you'll love it. You'll become just as big a fan as we are. Dan, we would be incredibly remiss if we didn't thank the band 5 Year Mission for all they contribute to this here podcast. Every piece of music you hear is an original 5 Year Mission composition based on all the episodes of the original series. Did you know that, Dan?
That's a lot of episodes and a lot of great songs from 5 Year Mission, because they're all awesome.
It really is. So
and by the way, I did know that. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for interrupting the host. We want everyone to head out to 5yearmission.net. Please get all their albums, support the band, and let them know how much you love them. Because we know Dan loves them too, as he told us just mere moments ago. Isn't that right, Dan?
That is right. And you know what's great about 5-Year Mission and how much we do love them? It's great to see when something successful happens to one of them or any of them. Like what just happened the other day when I was watching my latest episode of my kind of off-kilter mirror universe episodes. Bill, our illustrious drummer, he's finally made it. He's made the big time. All those hard years of practice and performances has paid off. He's getting called up to the big boy drums. Yeah, he is. But, before that happens, he has to get through some very, very difficult moments with his estranged father. And on top of that, Worf has a date with a big old pain stick. It's Seasons 2, the Icarus Fark Tour.
Oh, my God.
Okay, Rick laughs, and you give me my regular, oh, my God. Thanks, Rick. You can come on anytime, buddy.
Rick, please just don't encourage him.
It's cold medicine.
It's got you're on drugs. That's what it is. Yeah, dude. Oh man. # Bone Pulaski. That's all I got to say. So yes, please head on out to 5yearmission.net. Download all their albums. Become a huge fan, just as we are. We always have to thank our friends, the band 5-Year Mission, for all the amazing music they let us use for the Trek Geeks podcast. Every last bit of music you hear in these episodes are all original compositions by 5-Year Mission. Dan, they're writing one song for every episode of the original Star Trek series, and they are working on year 4 as we speak, my friend.
That's a lot of songs.
Yes.
I will also give big kudos out to Fark. Was at a convention this past weekend, I think, and he was sporting the Trek Geek shirt, man. It looked pretty good.
He was.
I got to say.
He looks fine in that T-shirt. I'm not going to lie.
He looks fine in just about anything, I would think. But I was watching an old Enterprise episode just the other day, before Chain of Command. And it was a good one. I think you might have liked it. Some genetically enhanced musicians and conductor Eric Soong escaped from Cold Station 12 after stealing frozen embryos from storage. And, Soong wanted to raise the embryos, but the musician leader Rittenhouse was tired of hiding, so he attempted to start a war between Starfleet and the Klingons. You should check it out. It's called The Farkmints, and I think you will really enjoy it.
The Farkmints. Okay, I have 2 reactions to this. 1, this could be the fan club of Fark. The Farkmints. 2, it sounds like the evil anti-Junior Mint.
I'm getting more dialogue out of you from this one than I think I ever have.
Hashtag not Junior Mints.
All right, I'm going to write that down. It's going in the post tomorrow.
Don't get me wrong; it was painful. I saw that one coming a mile away, though. I'm not going to lie. You're losing some mustard off your fastball.
I finally get to throw a Rittenhouse in there too, so Mike's got to be a little happy.
No, he won't be happy.
I doubt it.
He's not going to know anyway.
Oh, that's true.
But Dan, we want everyone to head out to 5yearmission.net. Please check out their music, download their albums. We truly are huge fans of their music, and we hope you become fans too. And Dan, before we depart, we probably should thank our friends in the band 5-Year Mission. They are so great to us each and every week. They let us use their amazing songs for Trek Geeks, and we are so fortunate to be able to play their music.
Every week we like to play their music, and we can be playing up to 80 tracks of 5-Year Mission, as I was so corrected earlier this week by Mr. Fark.
Yeah, you were corrected. And how, mister?
Only because I was going by what you told me.
What do you mean what I told you?
Every week, 79 episodes, blah, blah, blah.
I said they were recording one episode for each, or one song for every episode of the original series. That's not a false statement.
But how many episodes were there?
Depends on who you talk to.
That's true. I got to say that we love them. You know that. I know that. Everybody knows that. And we like to have fun with them. But I did see a bad episode about them the other day.
What?
I did. It wasn't good. And it just happens to be season 2 of The Next Generation, which we just talked about recently.
We did.
You might remember it. Was it the first season of Next Generation? I stand corrected. Again. Doesn't happen often.
It seems to be a trend.
I know. But First Officer Riker of the USS Lollipop beamed down to planet Minos and confronted a holographic version of Captain Noah Butler of the USS Drake.
things got a little dicey on the surface of that planet that became wealthy by selling weapons. Bill, do you know the name of that episode?
I'm sure you're about to tell me.
I think it was the Arsenal of Farkdom.
Farked him. I damn near killed him.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I probably should edit that out.
Nah.
No, we'll leave it in.
We'll leave it. We love them. We can't wait for year 4. I know that.
I'm very excited for year 4. They just started recording year 4 this week.
I know.
Which means it's happening. I'm very psyched.
Yes,
We're going to get new Star Trek this year. We're going to get some new 5-year mission this year. It's going to be a great 2017, Dan.
It is going to be. I don't even know what's higher on the list, the new Star Trek series or year 4.
I'm going to go with whichever one's going to come out first. And at this point, that's a dead heat.
Big question mark, isn't it?
It really is. Dan, we want everybody to head on out to 5yearmission.net, download all of their albums in preparation for year 4. And believe me, you will become as big a fan as Dan and I are. We guarantee it. Dan, of course, as you know, every week we are incredibly grateful to Jim's favorite band, 5 Year Mission. They provide all of the music you hear here on Trek Geeks, and honestly, we love them to death. Dan, did you know they're working on year 4 right now?
I did know that. Did you know that?
I did not, which is why I mentioned it to you.
Yeah, so year 4, finally. We've been waiting for it for a long time. We got word from Fark last week on social media that they have started. So that is something to very much look forward to. And another wonderful album by the boys in 5 Year Mission. Speaking of 5 Year Mission, Bill, I have a story to tell.
Of course you do.
Yes. My latest episode that I watched was a good one. We talked about it a little bit earlier, kind of. You know, it's a Romulan requests asylum on the Enterprise and claims that he's just a low-level roadie of a band.
Oh, no.
But it turns out that he's much more important than he says he is. You know, I don't even have to say it. You can say it for me.
It's the Defarctor.
There you go. Nice job, man. Yay.
What was that? Walks on a Page episode? I mean, the Walks on a Troy episode? Oh, Fark Page. Right.
Yeah, the Fark Page. Yeah. Wow, that's new levels of pain and agony.
I have to do it every week.
I got to Defarctor's pretty good. That was pretty good.
See, I knew that I knew we brought you on the show for something, Jim.
Jim, this is 2 episodes in a row you've loved his Farkism, and we got to have a serious talk about your third appearance. Just we'll get some notes from the producers, and we'll get them to you. Head on out to 5yearmission.net, dance Farkisms aside, and get yourself all their albums. Become a great big fan. They're going to be the official house band at the Creation Convention in Chicago this year.
Nice.
And I know, I'm very excited about that. And please show them some love because we love them and we're sure you'll be a fan. Dan. Year 4. We would be incredibly, incredibly horrible people if we didn't thank our friends, the band 5 Year Mission, for all of the amazing music they provide for our show. They're doing an original song for every episode of the original series, and that is not a small task by any means, my friend.
It's not, because there's a lot of episodes in TOS.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
how many, Dan?
79. But they've done 80 songs. They're going to do 80 songs. So there's a little twist in there for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we love 5 Year Mission. So excited that they're working on year 4 right now. We've gotten some great videos from Fark over on Facebook about what they're doing right now, and we want everybody to head over to their website and order them up some 5 Year Mission.
Yes, we do.
I'm very sad though.
Why? Why are you sad, Dan?
I might start crying. I came across something the other day, and I'm going to read it. I actually was watching it, and I read it down. I'm going to read it like Captain Kirk because it came from Captain Kirk.
Okay, yeah.
Whew. Okay, I got to take a deep breath here. All right. Captain's personal log, stardate unknown. I could only listen in horror as my only son was murdered on the planet below. He was a fine young musician working on a new album called The Genesis Wave. We were estranged, but finally getting to know each other. If only this damned 5 Year Mission tour hadn't caught the ears of the Klingons and Captain Krug. That's a sad, sad captain's personal log, Bill. Rest in peace, David Farkas.
Oh my God. Really? That's what you brought to the table this week?
I told you earlier it was going to be a bad one this week.
Oh my! I can only hope that Fark has not gone into a rage at the gym as he listens to this. But yeah, please head on out to 5yearmission.net, download all their albums. We are huge fans of theirs, and we think you will be too. That kind of puts a cap on episode number 99.
Wow.
99 times now we have thanked the band 5 Year Mission. And 99 times we have told people how much we love them and how much we want people to head on out to 5yearmission.net. Download all their music. You know, they are every ounce of music you hear on this podcast. We like to think they give us an incredibly unique and vibrant sound. And really, it's an energy. You know, when I listen to this podcast, you know, to sort of review my own performance, I still kind of, you know, rock out to the 5 Year Mission stuff. And I hope everyone else does too. But yeah, definitely we want people to become big fans. Don't we, Dan?
We do. And Bill, you know what? If I've said it once, I've said it 99 times. How much we enjoy their music. All their albums. Year 1, 2, 3, Spock's Brain, Trouble with Tribbles. They're working on year 4, for God's sake. It's going to be awesome. And we cannot wait to hear what they have to say. But based on today's discussion, Bill, you would think that this week's Farkism is going to be related to Still Treads the Shadow, wouldn't you?
I would have, yes.
You would have, but Bill, you would be wrong with that thinking. Yeah.
Oh.
You would be. Yeah, no, today we're going to discuss the return to that special place that I love so much, and that's the Mirror Universe. I love it. And thanks to FTC, or Fark Trek Continues, we get to see what happened after the events of Mirror Mirror when the evil version of 5 Year Mission returned. What happened? Was Rittenhouse able to start that rebellion against the Empire and defeat the notorious drummer? Well, you're just going to have to tune in to find out. Check it out. Farkest of them all. It's pretty awesome.
You're actually going to laugh out of that one.
Finally, it only took 99 episodes, jerk.
I got 99 episodes, but a Fark ain't one. With apologies to Jay-Z.
That was good. Very nice.
Yeah, that was actually probably one of my favorite Farkisms. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I'll keep at it.
Well, keep trying, buddy. Someday you'll hit pay dirt. Dan, of course, special thanks to our great friends in the band 5 Year Mission for the use of their music in not just this episode, but in every episode of Trek Geeks. We played a lot of cuts from them tonight as segment breaks and some songs you haven't heard on Trek Geeks before. And we sincerely hope everyone will head out to 5yearmission.net. Download all their albums. They're working on year 4 right now. And please show them some love as much as we love them. We are huge fans, and we hope you will be too.
Yes, and we love everyone in the band, especially Fark, because Fark Trek Continued. Oh God, I screwed that up.
I'm leaving that in.
I'm not even fixing it. Just go, Norm. Just take it.
Music for Trek Geeks is provided by 5 Year Mission. They're writing an original song for each episode of Star Trek. Hear more of their music at 5yearmission.net. Trek Geeks is a production of Coconut Media Works. Executive producers Bill Smith and Dan Davidson. For more great Star Trek discussion, discover the other shows of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network at trekgeeks.com or find us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.